73% of engineering teams are drowning in technical debt because of their CI/CD pipelines. Not despite them, because of them.
Wait, the very tools meant to speed up development are actually slowing teams down? How is that even possible?
Every time you copy that pipeline template, you're creating a ticking time bomb. Choice Hotels just proved there's a way out, but most teams won't realize until it's too late.
Welcome to the Platform Engineering Playbook Daily Podcast. Today's news and a deep dive to help you stay ahead in platform engineering.
Today, we're diving into, are your CI/CD pipelines accidentally increasing technical debt?
Stick around to the end for this week's headlines. Let's dive right in.
So let's talk about something that's been quietly eating away at engineering teams everywhere. How our CI/CD pipelines, the very tools we built to move faster, might actually be creating massive technical debt without us even realizing it.
That's a pretty bold claim. I mean, CI/CD is supposed to be the solution, right? Automate everything, ship faster, reduce manual errors.
Exactly what everyone thought. And here's the thing. It worked brilliantly at first. Remember when we all discovered we could just clone a pipeline template and boom, new service ready to deploy in minutes?
Oh, absolutely. I remember setting up my first GitHub Actions workflow by just copying from another repo, changed a few variables, and I was golden.
Right. And that's where the trap begins. Eric Minnick from Harness calls it the scaffolding trap. And once you understand it, you can't unsee it. Every time you copy that pipeline, you're creating a future maintenance nightmare.
But wait, isn't that just normal? I mean, that's how most teams I know operate. Copy what works, modify for your needs.
Let me paint you a picture. Say you've got 100 microservices, which isn't uncommon these days. Each one has its own copied pipeline. Now, you need to update your security scanning tool across all pipelines. What happens?
Oh no, that's 100 separate pull requests.
And 100 different teams who might have modified their pipelines in slightly different ways. Some might have added custom steps, others removed things they didn't think they needed. Now your simple update becomes a 3-month migration project.
I'm starting to see why you called it a trap. It's like we optimized for day 1 speed, but completely ignored day 2 operations.
Exactly. And the irony is, we all fell into it because it felt so productive at first. Clone, modify, ship. The velocity metrics looked amazing.
So how bad does this get at scale? Because I'm thinking about some of the larger organizations out there with thousands of services.
Choice Hotels ran into exactly this problem. They had hundreds of workflows, and making any standardized change meant convincing dozens of teams to update their pipelines. Some teams would do it immediately, others would delay, and suddenly you've got this fragmented landscape where half your services are using the new security scanner and half aren't.
But isn't this just a governance problem? Can't you just mandate the teams update their pipelines?
You could try, but think about the human cost. Every team has to stop what they're doing, understand the changes, test them, potentially fix breaking changes because their pipeline drifted from the template. It's a massive productivity hit.
And I bet some teams just don't do it. They're under pressure to ship features, not update infrastructure.
Bingo. So now you've got security vulnerabilities, inconsistent deployment practices, and when something goes wrong in production, your SREs are dealing with dozens of slightly different pipeline configurations. It's operational chaos.
This is hitting close to home. We've definitely got some of this going on. But what's the alternative? Going back to centralized ops teams managing all deployments?
That's the beautiful part. There's a better way. Coming up, we'll dig into exactly how Choice Hotels escaped this trap by completely rethinking their pipeline architecture, moving from copying to inheritance. And the results? They can now update hundreds of workflows instantly while keeping their developers happy.
All right, so inheritance over copying. That sounds good in theory, but how does that actually work in practice?
So the key insight is treating your pipeline configurations like you would treat code. You wouldn't copy-paste the same function into 100 different files, right? You'd create a shared library.
Oh, so like a base pipeline class that others extend from.
Exactly. Choice Hotels rebuilt their entire CI/CD architecture around this principle. They created what they call golden path templates. These are centrally managed pipeline definitions that teams can inherit from and customize only where absolutely necessary.
But doesn't that just shift the bottleneck? Now you've got a central team that has to approve every pipeline customization?
That's where the architecture gets clever. They built it with extension points. So the base pipeline might define stages like build, test, security scan, and deploy, but teams can inject their own steps at predefined points without modifying the core pipeline.
Can you give me a concrete example?
Sure. Let's say the base pipeline runs a standard security scan using SNCC, but your team also needs to run a specialized compliance check for PCI DSS. Instead of forking the entire pipeline, you just add your compliance check as an extension to the security stage. The base pipeline still controls when and how security checks run, but you've added your specific requirement.
So when SNCC releases a critical update or you need to switch to a different security scanner entirely.
One change in the base template, and all 100 services get the update immediately. No pull requests, no convincing teams, no drift.
But what about teams that have legitimate reasons for different workflows? Not every service is the same.
It absolutely does. This isn't a grassroots effort. It needs executive sponsorship and a dedicated team. But the ROI is massive. Think about it. How much time does your organization waste on pipeline maintenance, debugging deployment issues, or coordinating updates?
When you put it that way, probably dozens of engineer hours every week.
At least. And that's not even counting the security risks from outdated scanners or the compliance issues from inconsistent practices. This is one of those investments that pays for itself within months.
Any tools or frameworks you'd recommend for teams starting this journey?
Start with what you have. If you're on GitHub, look into reusable workflows and composite actions. GitLab has includes and extends keywords. Jenkins has shared libraries. The tool matters less than the architecture.
And measure everything, right? You need to show the value.
Absolutely. Track metrics like time to update pipelines across your fleet, number of pipeline-related incidents, developer satisfaction scores. Choice Hotels saw their mean time to implement security updates drop from weeks to hours. That's a metric any CTO can get behind.
This really free-frames how I think about CI/CD. It's not just about shipping code, it's about building a sustainable, scalable development platform.
And here's the thing that really gets me. We're at an inflection point. Organizations that figure this out now will have a massive competitive advantage. While others are drowning in technical debt, they'll be shipping features at light speed with consistent quality and security.
It's like compound interest for engineering efficiency.
Perfect way to put it. Every day you wait to address this, the debt compounds. But every improvement you make pays dividends across your entire engineering organization. The question isn't whether you can afford to refactor your CI/CD architecture, it's whether you can afford not to. Before we wrap up, let's catch up on this week's infrastructure news. There's a fascinating new development from Docker that platform engineers need to know about. D-Zone reports that Docker has introduced hardened images, specifically designed to combat the growing security crisis in container environments.
How bad is the security situation with containers right now?
The numbers are pretty alarming. A significant percentage of container images in the wild have security vulnerabilities. Docker's hardened images, or DHI, are their answer to this problem, providing pre-secured base images with enhanced security configurations baked right in.
This seems like it could save teams a lot of time on security hardening. Are these available for common base images?
Exactly. Instead of every team reinventing the wheel with security configurations, Docker's providing these as a foundation for safer deployments.
Speaking of security, we've got some troubling news about Chainlit. Security Week is reporting 2 high-severity vulnerabilities that could expose sensitive enterprise information.
These vulnerabilities could potentially give attackers access to storage buckets and secret keys. For teams using Chainlit in their AI application workflows, this is a critical patch situation.
It's another reminder that even specialized tools in our platform stacks need constant security vigilance.
And here's an even more serious one. Cybersecurity News reports a zero-day vulnerability in Cloudflare's web application firewall that's been actively exploited.
Wait, attackers could bypass the WAF entirely?
Through the ACME challenge path, yes, they could reach origin servers directly, completely ignoring any WAF rules or protections that teams had configured. Cloudflare has patched it, but this was a complete security bypass.
That's terrifying for anyone relying on WAF as their primary defense layer.
On a lighter note, let's talk about something that'll make platform engineers happy. OpenTelemetry has released a log deduplication processor that could significantly reduce log volumes and costs.
This addresses those repetitive logs that flood our systems in distributed environments.
Exactly. The OpenTelemetry collector's new deduplication processor can identify and consolidate duplicate log entries, which means lower storage costs and cleaner log analysis. For platforms dealing with high-volume microservices, this could be a game changer.
Finally, a tool that helps us manage the observability data explosion, rather than just adding to it.
That wraps up this week's news. That's our show for today.
If you found this valuable, please subscribe and share with a friend who'd appreciate it.
Drop us a comment with your thoughts on today's topic.
Links to everything we discussed are in the show notes.
And check out platformengineeringplaybook.com for more resources and guides. Until next time.